Welcome to another episode of Game Boy Roulette, where we take a look at randomly chosen games from the Game Boy library. 720, what a tremendous number that is. It was the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater series that really turned skateboarding into a video game phenomenon, but it's worth pointing out that it's not like there weren't any skateboarding games before then. There were games such as the Skate or Die series, California games, or going all the way back to 1987, Skateboarding for the Atari 2600. But let's go another year back to 1986, to the game that started it all, 720, aka 720 Degrees. Atari's arcade machine was a huge hit and considered the grandfather of all skateboard games. With colorful graphics, fun gameplay, and a rockin' soundtrack, 720 offered a variety of challenges, such as free skating, slalom, and racing, setting the standard for the genre for years and years to come. But 720 was one of those arcade games that didn't have quite as much staying power as others, so it never quite reached the heights of other games from the same year. But still, that popularity was enough for a few ports. It had a very odd release schedule, though. First for the Amstrad CPC and ZX Spectrum in 1988, then the NES in 1989, and then a decade goes by before it hits the Game Boy Color, published by Midway Games. That's quite the gap. Then again, at that time, Midway were grabbing whatever arcade names they could and porting them to whatever systems they could. So it makes sense that eventually, one of those grabs would end up with a handful of skateboards. The box art makes me laugh way more than it should. You have all this shiny backing and psychedelic effects, all to highlight some man. Maybe he's a famous skateboarder, but he's just so out of place. I don't even think he's spinning. The grandfather of skateboard games is back. Let's pop an ollie with 720. So much text. As always. Oh. There we go. I was gonna say that was really quiet. 720, aka 720 Degrees. Spin in the air for more points. Oh, it looks alright from this demo screen. Nade left and right will rotate player left and right. Direction will rotate player to direction pressed. Oh god, why is it staring at me? Wait, is this a speaker? I thought that was just giant eyes. Okay, so from what I've seen, this is pretty similar to the original. Just with worse graphics so far. What? What happened? Oh, is that water? Okay, that's water. Also, I can barely hear the sound effects again. Hurry to a park? What? Where? Sure, this one. Ramp park. Alright, we're doing the ramp thing. Ooh. This is, oh, wow. This is getting a little hard to control. Come on, come on. Oh, I did something, but I don't know how or why. I just sort of mashed buttons. Oh, okay, I'm leaving. You failed. What did I qualify for? What is this? Okay, the game needs to explain itself better, because I really don't understand what's happening. Okay, so B is a speed boost, and A is ollie. I think those were words? It sounded a bit like... Dude, what do you want from me? I know, it can control... Those are B's, those are B's, those are B's. 3 continues... What? Like, the game controls alright, but it really needs to explain itself, because I'm so confused. One thing that's annoying is that... Well, not really annoying, just like... Dude, I'm at the park. Jump park. Go. Oh, God. So, here's the thing. On these parts of the game, the controls are super, like, too responsive. I tap one button and I go flying. Ooh, this is... I don't know, it's kind of tilted into the negative here for me. Okay, what else can we do? How about the downhill park? Oh, what's this? God, I cannot hear a word you're saying. Stop talking. This way. Okay, that is infuriating that it keeps... Like, what if I just want to explore around here? Oh god, buff man. I'm dead, I think. I know, there's a lot of just little annoyances in this game that are adding up very quickly. Downhill park, let's go. Oh, thanks for facing me the wrong direction, game. Yeah, it's like... Okay, I'm just gonna tap the button. Yeah, look how much you move around just from taps. Okay, so I can play it. It's just kind of leaning into the world of why would I want to when there's so many better skateboarding games out there. How do I actually do a trick? What? Oh, there we go. Okay, you just kind of gotta rock the D-pad around randomly. I swear, if you tell me to skate or die again anytime soon, I'm gonna be so mad. Oh, we're at the slalom. God damn it! Yeah, I don't know. Kinda not feeling this one. Not that it's awful, it's just weird. Some of the things like that. Okay, so I'm just playing, and then bees attack me, and it's over. I will say this. They seem to have captured the, general graphics of the arcade version pretty well. But I wonder if they can capture it when it's in color. Well, that definitely looks better. Kinda. Okay, so we have the much more simplistic coloring going. Which is basically just a fill tool. Doesn't really change how the game plays. Which is good because it means the Game Boy can handle the gameplay well, but it also means the Game Boy Color isn't really adding that much besides literally just color. I'll take this. A helmet. Again, though, what is the helmet? Shut up! God, that's annoying. Just every couple seconds the game is like, by the way, skate or die. Oh, I died because I think I got hit by bees. Is there a way to avoid the bees? Okay, I tried to do a trick in the air, but it just doesn't work. Yeah! It's one of those games that I think the gameplay itself just isn't that refined. Can any of you hear what they're saying? I'm gonna boost the audio on what they're saying by a significant amount. Because it seriously just sounds like jumbled mess, and occasionally I can understand a word. Ooh. Yeah, you know what? I don't think this one is very good. Maybe it was better on the arcade, I have to imagine? I hope? But this one is just... Except there's no one thing that lets it down, but it's just 100 little things that just kind of ruin the experience. I guess I'll have to stick with Tony Hawk as my go-to skateboarding game from now on. Although, to be fair, I was gonna be doing that anyway. Shut up! Ooh, sorry, don't know what came over me there at the end. We've had a good handful of arcade ports that have converted to handheld well, but 720 is unfortunately not one of them, and the biggest issue holding it back from being fun is how restrictive the gameplay is. See, those messages constantly telling you to skate or die, that was the game telling you that if you don't get to one of the mini-games, you'll lose a life, which does explain the random bee attacks. But with skateboarding games, you want a little bit of freedom to play around and have fun. Making the game that restrictive may have made sense in the arcade, where they were begging for quarters, but on the handheld, it's completely counterproductive to what makes the Game Boy so much fun. But even if that was changed, I just don't think the gameplay was very refined. The controls were incredibly sensitive. Even the slightest tap would make you rotate rapidly, and in a genre where you really need control, having controls that loose is never a good thing. Plus, any actual tricks seem to come from randomly mashing and rotating the D-pad. Never an easy thing to do with the Game Boy, and the minor animations in the game were certainly not worth it. That said, the game looked nice and played very smoothly for the Game Boy, although the Game Boy Color version wasn't a very exciting upgrade. It all just makes me wish the game played better. It's the kind of game I would have totally been into as a kid. But as it stands, the bad controls and the restrictive gameplay are deal breakers. Perhaps the arcade version played better and offered more, but as for the handheld port, it sadly fails two major hurdles and ends up profoundly disappointing. And that's pretty much all I have to say about it. And that's all for another episode of Game Boy Roulette. Make sure to like the video, comment, and subscribe to follow the series as we continue to dig through the Game Boy vault. I'm Brian J, and I'll see you next time.